If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma, choosing the right attorney can make a life-changing difference in your ability to seek justice and secure compensation. But with so many lawyers and law firms claiming expertise in asbestos cases, how do you know which one is truly right for your situation? The answer lies in asking the right questions before you make your decision. In this video, we'll go step by step through the most important questions to ask before hiring a mesothelioma attorney, so you can protect your rights, avoid costly mistakes, and feel confident in the path you choose. Let's start with experience and specialization. Mesothelioma cases are not like typical personal injury claims. They require deep knowledge of asbestos exposure history, occupational safety regulations, medical aspects of mesothelioma, and state-specific laws. That's why your first question should be, how many years have you been practicing law? Follow that with, how many mesothelioma or asbestos-related cases have you personally handled? A lawyer who has worked on dozens or even hundreds of these cases will understand the complexities far better than someone who has only seen a handful. You should also ask, what percentage of your practice is devoted specifically to mesothelioma cases? A high percentage shows that this is their area of focus, not just a side practice. Go further by asking if they have handled cases similar to yours, involving the same type of asbestos exposure or work environment, such as shipyards, construction sites, power plants, or the military. And finally, request examples of successful verdicts or settlements they have achieved for past clients. The next category of questions relates to how your case will actually be handled and what strategy the attorney might take. Start by asking, who will be responsible for my case on a day-to-day basis? Will it be you personally, or another attorney in your firm? Sometimes big law firms assign cases to junior lawyers or refer them to partner firms, so it's important to know who you will actually be dealing with. You should also ask whether your case will be handled locally, or if it might be filed in another state where asbestos laws are more favorable. Then find out how they investigate and gather evidence. Do they have in-house investigators or a network of experts who can track down old employment records, safety reports, and asbestos manufacturer data? You'll also want to know how they decide whether to settle or take a case to trial, and what factors would influence that decision in your situation. Lastly, ask for an honest estimate of how long your case might take to resolve, as mesothelioma lawsuits can sometimes move quickly due to the severity of the illness, but other times they may take many months or even years. Another critical area is legal fees and costs. Most mesothelioma attorneys work on a contingency fee basis, which means they only get paid if you win or settle the case. However, you still need to clarify the details. Ask, do you work on a contingency fee basis? And if so, what percentage of the settlement or verdict will you take as your fee? Contingency fees typically range from 25 to 40%, depending on the firm and the complexity of the case. You should also ask about case-related expenses like filing fees, travel costs, or expert witness fees. Will these be deducted from your award? And will you be responsible for them if you lose? This is important to know up front to avoid surprises later. Finally, confirm whether you owe anything at all if the case is not successful. Communication and support during the legal process are just as important as the outcome itself. Mesothelioma cases can be stressful, and you need to know you can rely on your attorney for updates and guidance. Ask how often you will receive updates on your case, whether weekly, monthly, or only at major milestones. Find out if you can contact your attorney directly or if all communication will go through their staff. Ask how quickly they usually respond to calls or emails, as a lack of timely communication can be frustrating and worrying. Some law firms also provide additional support, such as helping clients find medical treatment or arranging travel for court appearances. If that's important to you, ask whether such services are available, You'll also want to explore what resources and networks the attorney can bring to your case. Mesothelioma lawsuits often depend on proving where and how asbestos exposure happened, and that requires access to specialized resources. Ask if they have asbestos exposure records, databases, and company history archives that can help strengthen your claim. Do they have relationships with medical experts who specialize in diagnosing and treating mesothelioma? Will they help connect you with treatment centers or clinical trials if needed? Also, ask whether they have expert witnesses ready to testify if your case goes to trial, as their testimony can be crucial in persuading a jury. Finally, you need to evaluate the attorney's past case outcomes and client satisfaction. Ask about their track record in securing compensation for mesothelioma clients, and request specific examples of verdicts or settlements they've won. Inquire if they can share testimonials or references from past clients so you can hear firsthand about their experiences. And of course, you can ask about the largest settlement or verdict they've ever achieved in a mesothelioma case, which can give you insight into their capabilities. Choosing the right mesothelioma attorney is about more than just finding a lawyer with a law degree. It's about finding someone who understands the unique challenges of your illness, has the resources and expertise to build a strong case, and is committed to fighting for the best possible outcome for you and your family. By asking these questions about their experience, how your case will be handled, their fees, communication style, resources, and past results, you can make a more informed decision and increase your chances of securing the compensation you deserve. If you've recently been diagnosed or lost a loved one to mesothelioma, time is critical because there are statutes of limitations that limit how long you have to file a claim. Don't wait too long to start your search for the right attorney. Prepare your list of questions, schedule consultations with a few experienced mesothelioma law firms, and take the time to compare their answers carefully. The right attorney can make all the difference in your fight for justice and financial security. Your health and your future matter. And by being informed and proactive, you give yourself the best chance to protect both. If you found this guide helpful, make sure to stay informed and take action as soon as possible. Because when it comes to mesothelioma cases, every day counts.